Today, I have a topic that many people have experienced, and boy, you're going to have an opinion about this, and I want to hear in the comments your backstory or your story with this, as you know, this is something that many people have experienced, and I think it's important that we talk about this. I do lots of different current game topics as well as cover many things on my channel, and I've enjoyed doing these conversations as it's on my mind, and if it's on my mind, it's on some of your minds as well. And thank you for tuning in. So today's topic is major game releases with bugs and glitches. Is that acceptable or not? And so we've all experienced it. If you've been a gamer at in any modern capacity, you've experienced this, or even maybe back in the day you experienced a bug or a glitch. And definitely, this can vary from console or computer or handheld or even game, depending on the complexity of it. And so the focus of today is really on major AAA releases, companies with big budgets. These are games that are hyped for months, even years, and they get released. And so, I have many stories I could share with you. I'm going to share a few of games that came out and really just bugged me, no pun intended, with having a glitch or a bug, and especially one that wasn't communicated. I think that's the harder thing too. I think it's a little bit easier if a company does a statement and says, hey, there's going to be some performance issues or there's a known glitch or bug. I think it's more difficult when you experience something and there wasn't any communication about it, especially like a game-breaking bug. That can be really, really tough. And so I have several stories that I could discuss. I'm going to bring up, because it's in the news right now, the first Jedi Fallen Order that I purchased, I do believe in 2019. It was around launch, and I got that for the Xbox One. I love the game. I eventually really liked the game, enjoyed it, but I have to say, when I experienced it for the first time, it was excited. I got it around launch time, and got to play it on my Xbox One. And, for the most part, no issues. However, when I got near the end, and I'm not going to spoil it for anybody that hasn't played it, but when I got near to the end of the final fight, I fell through a level. I actually fell through and it crashed, and I was scared I lost everything. Now, luckily, I was able to recover. It appeared to be a rare bug, but it almost kind of got me out of the experience of playing the game. It's really tough when you're into a game and into a moment, and unfortunately these performance bugs that they happen. They're common. These things happen more often than not, especially with the complexities of these major AAA releases. And I could give several examples, and I'm going to give several examples. One that comes to mind is the Halo Master Chief Collection. And when that launched, multiplayer was not functional. I actually was really excited. It was one of the first games that I got for my Xbox One, and was really excited about playing this with a friend, and online was just a hot mess. Luckily though, since then, things have been resolved. And going back to the original Jedi Fallen Order, yes, those issues have been resolved with it. In fact, there's been a performance upgrade where you can play this game at a faster frame rate. Anyways, those are just two small examples, and I know that you're going to have many. I'm going to give a couple others. I heard that on PlayStation 3 Skyrim, when it came out, there was a save bug issue. And so that's the type of stuff that's really frustrating, as you get into a game and you want to experience it, and you have something happen where, especially with an involved game such as Skyrim, you don't want your save file to be corrupted or have it not work. Eventually it was fixed, and Skyrim is revered by so many people on many multiple platforms. And it's nice to see that that was resolved, and resolved in within I think 3 months. But still, that can be really tough, especially if you want to experience a game. I know when a game comes out, you want to experience it. Some people want to experience it because they don't want to be spoiled by anything online. We're in such an online world that the moment something gets released, or even now with media and people hyping up a game, sometimes a game can be totally ruined by people that leak a game online. And so I know there's a lot of fans out there that's a focus of people wanting to experience a game when it comes out for the first time. And so it's not ruined by, you know, the story being leaked, or maybe they don't want to be tempted with videos online. You know, I typically never, you know, show the ending of a game, because I really want people to experience games on their own. Especially, I'm big on like first looks, you know, with my time schedule as well. You know, it's hard for me to like master and beat a game and then show that footage online. So going back to the discussion, the biggest fans are the ones that purchase a game day one. They're the ones that are typically going to drive sales. They are the people that are all in. And it's frustrating sometimes to see major game releases, and sometimes in the state that they are. Even the newest Jedi Survivor, I guess, has some performance issues. I haven't personally played it. In fact, because of the performance issues I've heard on, I do believe, the PlayStation 5, hopefully those can be addressed, because I do want to pick this up. But, you know, that's the type of things that people see. And, you know, sometimes that's not always discovered when you're doing a review. Sometimes bugs can be rare. Sometimes different platforms have different issues. And, you know, sometimes that's not fully revealed in a review, and it can be an issue. And so it's been all over the place with the bug performance issues of that. I know that they're going to address it, and I look forward to playing the game, because overall the game looks like it's fantastic. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, if you don't know. I've done a lot of Star Wars videos on my channel, and I look forward to checking that out eventually. But, you know, bugs and glitches can take away from sales. Cyberpunk 2077 is like a perfect example of a game that people were hyped about. And when it came out, especially for like prior generation consoles, you know, PlayStation 4, it was a mess, absolute mess. And, you know, there was tons and tons of glitches and bugs. I know there's big fans that just kind of overlooked all that, but it really had some issues, especially on like a stock PlayStation 4, not a PlayStation 4 Pro. And, you know, that took months to figure out and update, and eventually they fixed a majority of them. It still has issues, but I know that that company, you know, took a lot, because they launched a game that was not ready to be launched. And a lot of these games are launched with the pressures from marketing. You know, a lot of times the programmers have no choice. They're doing the best that they can. And really, it's a separate department in a company that's saying, no, the game's going to launch at this time because that's best for financial issues, or, you know, that's the window of time that they're not going to compete with other games coming out. There's a lot of complexities to a game being launched, especially a big game. And it doesn't make a company evil because they launch a game with bugs and issues. That might be a financial issue. It might be they may not have an idea of how to fix it at the time. But on the consumer side, in the perspective that I'm taking in this video, it can be a huge letdown and frustration. And so definitely what to do with it. What to do about that. You know, going over to some other releases that, you know, come to mind as a Pokemon Scarlet. You know, the Pokemon releases this last year for the Switch. There were some performance issues with it, where the Switch appeared to not be able to handle the game, and so that can be tough too. When, especially like on a programmer side, I'm sure that when someone programs something, they want it's like art. They want people to enjoy the process, the game that they're making, and when that just doesn't come together, I'm sure that can be really frustrating. As a consumer, as a gamer, I know that when I experience a bug or a glitch, it just takes me out of the game. So frustrating. And, you know, this experience is going to be different for everybody. And, you know, definitely in the comments below, I want you to tell me, what is your experience with bug and glitches on a launch date, especially like an early release of a game? How did you feel about it? Was it resolved? And did it take away from your experience of that game? Or did you stay with the game and experience it to the end so then you could fully appreciate it? And so, yeah, I want to thank everybody for this discussion. I want to also add an additional question about physical game releases. I know there's many people that watch this channel that are collectors and are big on physical game releases. Now, there's a dark side of physical game releases because it is a snapshot of, especially with modern games, of a game. And so if you're not playing a game with the most current updates, then a game may possibly have a glitch or a bug, and even a bug, even a game breaker where you're not able to finish it. So those are my thoughts on this discussion. What are yours? I want to thank everybody for viewing my channel and this discussion. I have 1,000+ other videos you want to check out on my channel as I march towards 130,000 subs. Help me get there. If you haven't subscribed already and you like what you see, consider hitting that like and subscribe button and clicking the bell as I'm doing content every week. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. Let's keep it positive. This is the Immortal John Hancock, and you take care.